So here I am. I decided to make a video for my friends showing them my video game console collection. It's something that's been building up recently, and I don't know, I'm fond of it. And I'm not a big into collecting and stuff. This is pretty much going to be it for a while, but what can I say? Uh, I'm pleased I got this all set up, and it's just everything's working fine and wonderful. Um, let's start with this right here, Model 2 of the Sega Genesis. I got this for Christmas morning back in, I guess, I don't know what that was, 92 maybe. It came with the Sonic 2, whenever, so you can figure out the date for yourself. Um, it still remains one of my favorite Christmas gifts of all time. And really, it's hard to really make this claim, but, when forced to make a choice, I would say the Sega Genesis is still my favorite console of all time. I'm kind of a Sega fan, even though I never played the other consoles. But I just have such great memories playing this during really the best years of my life. Or, there's wonderful childhood years where you're getting a little bit older and, your imagination is even more active and all. And really, I just always, the games just really fit my little niche and everything. And they still do. I still play a lot of Sega games and I really enjoy them. Here they are right here in this big plastic bin that periodically moves from downstairs to upstairs, basement to the living room. So there you go. And, I'm very pleased with myself that I never sold this thing. This is the same console I had when I was a kid. There's something about, that adds nostalgia factor to it. And the thing just still works perfectly fine. It's like it's brand new. I love it. Here's the Xbox 360. This is the console that got me back into video games. Because, there was a good 10-year period, and maybe even longer, that I stopped playing video games. Basically, I got really into movies, so I was spending my money on that. Also, I did have, briefly, a PlayStation 2, which, believe it or not, I did not like the PlayStation 2 at all, even though it's like considered the best console of all time. I really did not like it. I hated the controller, and I still hate all the PlayStation controllers. The load times on it drove me nuts. I think nations were built and then crumbled within the time I was waiting for games to load on that damn thing. It doesn't help that I didn't have the greatest games on it, and I did enjoy some of them, but really, all in all, I was very unimpressed with the PlayStation 2. I did eventually get rid of it, and not too much longer, a friend of mine at work wanted to sell me his 360, and I'm glad he did because it really reinvigorated my interest in video games. Lots of great games on it. Halo, Mass Effect, BioShock, just to name a few. Gears of War, we can't forget that. And down here is the much maligned and much mocked Xbox One. But I love it, and I think people who mock it are ignorant. I really had only one problem with the Xbox One, which was the Halo, the Clusterfuck collection, which, by the way, still does not work. So there. But other than that, all the other games on it have worked fine, and they've been great, I've never fully appreciated until now how freaking big this thing is. Look at it. It encompasses the width of the Sega Genesis and the 360 together. That's how friggin' big it is. Oh, well, I could do without that, but I actually do like the design. I like the kind of two-faced VCR clunky design. I don't know, there's just something about that I like. Also, take notice that this is being supported by the Samuel Adams Variety Pack. A pretty swanky setup I got here. Over here, of course, we got my NES. And as we all know, NES stands for Nintendo Emulation System. It is definitely not a Wii. I would never buy such a thing. So, yeah, there's my collection of consoles. I keep hearing on the internet that consoles are on the way out, that technology is going in a direction where maybe the Xbox One and the PS4 and the Wii U are going to be the last consoles or second to last consoles. I hope that's not true. I think there's a real aesthetic to the concept of these consoles. I'm fascinated by consoles. I love how they're all different and they have their own little personalities and their own little collection of games and what they can and cannot do. I just think it's a shame if it all goes to cell phone games and computers. And I personally don't care for playing games on my computer. I will say this. I really would like the future of video games to be not so bogged down by these goddamn wires. I know it's hard to tell, the lighting's not so good, but look at this. I got this impenetrable forest of wires down here and giant power bricks and everything. My God, it's nuts. And, you know, you also got cable and the Blu-ray player. You know, they all got cables all over the friggin' place. And that's something I do wish technology would get to the point where they could do wireless or, I don't know, consolidated into easier stuff, you know? But, look, even here, look at this. This is nuts. This is a monstrosity. Anyway, so, you know, that's it. And I just thought that my friends who like video games would be interested in my little setup here. And so, oh, what's this? Oh. Oh, yes, that's right. I do have another console. The Nintendo 64. Oh, no room for you, huh? Well, you know what the Nintendo 64 is? The Nintendo 64 is you when you're 14. You know when you're 14 and everybody sees you and they go, oh, you're getting so big and you're getting so much more mature and you're not a little kid anymore. You're growing up. Ain't that nice? Yeah, but do you go back and look at pictures of yourself when you are 14 and you look horrible in those pictures? You actually look like an incomplete you. Like you almost look like a clone of your current self that didn't fully develop correctly. Well, that's how I kind of feel about the Nintendo 64. I loved this thing at the time, but a lot of the games I don't think have aged very well. So that is why it just lays here on the floor, unhooked up all by itself. It's not like I brought it up for this video or anything. I just leave it right there because it's so sad looking.